my name is Jack Manning. I attended Hampton in the 90s. Officially class of 2002, but I was Quintessence III when I came in. I took a little time off and then came back. I was a graphic design major. I used that opportunity to learn how to do photography. So I studied photography as basically a recurring course every year because I loved it so much. I learned how to develop film, black and white film, got a number of photos published in newspapers and the yearbook while I was an undergrad. And then further along in life, I circled back to photography and got into digital photography. And currently I am a photographer full time. My late Aunt Teresa, she was a huge artist. She danced, she used to paint, she sewed, she was into fashion, and she was a photographer as well. And so I would remember seeing a lot of the work that she would do hanging on the walls. And then I had another cousin by the name of Eddie. He was also a photographer. He was like a family photographer. So every family reunion, cousin Eddie's over here with 2 cameras and, I'm trying to figure out like, what's he doing? When I got to Hampton and majored in graphic design, I was elated to see that there was a photography course, and I immediately signed up. And it was like the best 3 hours a day, out of my week. I would really just lose myself in that space. And I realized as someone who was trying to focus on illustration, I wasn't the best illustrator, but I was really good at finding light when it came to drawing with light. So photography became the thing. So I basically honed my passion at Hampton and picked up all of those skill sets along the way. And then I want to say, actually, I didn't officially become a photographer until around 2007. So about 5 years after I had left undergrad, I started advertising that I was doing photography, and I would travel on the weekends. So I would work during the week and travel on the weekends. And that carried over until eventually I got busy enough that I had to quit my job. And so I officially retired from full-time employment here in Atlanta in 2011, and I haven't looked back. I was introduced to Ruth Carter via another alum by the name of Rick Montgomery. He and Ruth had been friends for years, and when I was into music, Rick was working with a team that I was working with, and he and I remained friends. And over the years, when I would travel to the DC area, I would use his home studio. So one day he said, Jack, when Ruth Carter is going to be in Atlanta, she's working on Being Mary Jane, the first season. And we need to get some promo photos of her because she really needs to get herself out there, more photos of her, get some more publicity shots, and you do good work. So he basically introduced me. I went and met her. She was just the nicest person that you ever want to meet. I mean, just warm and welcoming. And I was like, oh man, this is really cool. And then the fact that I'm on a set, I'm kind of looking around like at all this stuff, like, oh, this is what Gabrielle Union's gonna be wearing in like one of these scenes or something, So, it was a really cool thing. And then I started to dig in a little bit more to her resume and realize like, whoa, like Ruth is a legend. Before she won an Oscar, she was already nominated for 2, and she's worked on everything from, biographical films to sci-fi. We go all the way back to a lot of Spike Lee's earlier films like School Days. Jump present all the way to, Black Panther. And she's just an amazing person, an amazing talent, and a good friend. So I've adopted her as my big sister. So when I talk to her, I say, hey, big sis. So she's currently here in Atlanta working on a couple of projects and a consignment shop. I think it's a consignment shop. I could be wrong about this, but it's a shop that has a bunch of clothing, and I don't know much about Thrilling, but Shop Thrilling is the name of the company that wanted to do a story on her, and they wanted to dress her. And that's how it came about. She reached out to me and put me in contact with them. let me know the time and the place and said, little bro, I need you to be there. I need you to be my photographer. Come and shoot for us. I didn't know where this was going to land. I didn't know where all the photos were going to land. We did a number of outfits that day. And about 2 weeks ago, I got an alert on my phone from someone like, hey, your stuff is in Marie Claire. And I was like, online? They said, yeah. So I Googled and looked, and there it is. And then another one came up, Forbes magazine, and then Paper magazine, and then the Hollywood Reporter, and then Deadline, and then Variety. And I was like, gosh, it's everywhere. And every time I looked, there's my name right under the photos, which, you appreciate it when someone appreciates your work enough to make sure that your name is right there, right? And I am grateful for the opportunity to work with her. She's the coolest. She's really just the coolest. It's been a positive and supportive and warm response. A lot of people, this isn't my first publishing, but for some reason, a lot of people think it is. That's fine. That's not a big deal. It's cool. I'm excited that they saw it. I'm excited that they shared it. I told my father, who's also an alum, the class of 71, I said, Dad, look, I got published in all these magazines today. And he just hits me with a okay. And that's it. He's not impressed by a lot, but it's fine. I know he's proud. My sister, who's also an alum, class of 2001, she was excited for me. My mom, of course, she was excited for me. A lot of my friends and family have been really supportive. My wife especially is happy. The kids, kids are kids. They're like, oh, that's cool, Dad. And then they just keep it moving. I'm like, but I'm cool. Like, see, this is the stuff that I did, and everybody's on the internet seeing it, but it's not on TikTok. So, okay, well, I guess it's not on TikTok. One of the lessons that I've learned just interacting with her is be who you are, be your genuine self. There's no one else that's going to be like you. No one else is going to have your perspective, your eye, or your creative input. I think kind of watching her do what she does and do it so well, you have to get to a place where you have to trust yourself when it comes to being creative. And your job isn't for you to make it look like someone else's stuff. It's for you to do what you do. You were hired to do what you do, not to do something that someone else did. Countless times I've been handed photos like, can you make me look like Rihanna? Well, I'm not. You're not Rihanna, and I'm not Rihanna's photographer, so it's not going to look like Rihanna. But we're going to do a great job, and we can be inspired by that. But let's not try to recreate somebody else's work. That's not where we're trying to go with this. But yeah, being your genuine self, I think Ruth has that down to a T. Like when you meet her today, she's the same. Like she knows who she is. It just, and she's confident, she's cool, and if she doesn't like something, she'll let you know. Like I'm not really feeling that, and that's fine, because we have to be open to that kind of critique. Being an undergrad at Hampton, I went through many critiques. And there were many times that people were just like, I'm not feeling it. And I'm building myself up. I'm like, oh, this is going to be, they're going to love this. And then I pull my stuff out and they're like, it's cool. And it's not the reaction I'm going for. But I have to remember it's not for them, it's for me. I think in the day and age of technology, everyone's using all of this stuff. You know what I mean? And I think there's a certain power that you can have by just getting rid of all the stuff and just you and the camera. Learn how to use what's in front of you without all of the stuff. I relate it to music. Like if you're a singer or a producer, you don't need auto-tune, right? You don't need all of these samples that already exist to create something on your own, because you're going to be more proud of that than anything else. As far as being an artist goes, you look for inspiration everywhere that you can find it, and it will pop up anywhere. I've awakened in the middle of the night. My wife's probably looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I got my phone out. She's probably thinking, I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, but I'm sitting here writing notes down because I had an idea. You know, there's a certain power to just saying, you know what, let me strip away all the other stuff, focus on the craft. I don't need all the tricks, because if you just give me a camera today and I go outside, I'm going to create something else, right? You have to walk in with that kind of confidence. There's going to be circumstances and situations that are going to make it difficult, but you've got to find your way through that. But yeah, I think just learning your craft, hone your craft first before all of the other stuff. You can go to my website, which is www.jacksonphotogroup.com, and that's JAXON photo group. And I don't know if you want to add some text to it, but you can put it like right there or something. I'm making an appearance on Love and Hip Hop on February 7th and 14th. I did some photos for them for a legacy episode. So my work will be there. I don't know if you'll see me, but I know I was on camera at one point. Who really knows? And then I think there's another show. I'm not saying anything about that yet, but let's just say there's some stuff that's out there. There's some stuff that's out there.